You got us on the board? Right. Okay, go ahead and then switch us over. I'm gonna switch the mic to the mayor after I do an intro, okay? Okay. And this is 540 KNMX, Las Vegas, New Mexico. We've got a live press conference from the city of Las Vegas with Mayor Louis Trujillo. Hold on.
You ready, good to go?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank Sangre de Cristo Broadcasting, SBC Broadcasting Network, listening on the AM stations, 540 and the 96.7, 92.7, and 107.1. Thank you, former Mayor Matt Martinez, for accommodating us at this important time. Thank you for the people who are viewing on YouTube. I'm going to take this off just for a second, and I'm going to put it back on. First of all, I'd like to talk about what's happening, and there's a lot of talk in the city about what has happened with the city of Las Vegas, and I want to touch base a little bit about what's transpired from Friday to today, and then how we're mitigating and how we are working diligently to come up with a plan to return some of the services back to the community as soon as we can. We're working diligently. Thank you to our city manager, Dr. Bill Taylor, and our attorney, Scott, and we have Donna Castro, also our Human Resource Director, that's been working very hard trying to accommodate people who are working from home or remotely. Thank you for our IT department, Ed Deschamps, thank you so much, to Kenny Roybal and to Zach for assisting the employees to set up their computers at home. So this is a brand new experience for the city. I don't believe we've ever been in this situation. We started off in March, and we had to close for a while just because, you know, they ramped up all the information regarding COVID and COVID-19 and coronavirus. And so it took a little while to hit Las Vegas, and now it seems like our cases from the last couple of months are just increasing. So just yesterday we were at 67, and I believe now we're probably at how many cases, Leo?
Probably over 70 by now.
Probably over 70 cases by now. We had the first person who got sick notified us on Friday. We immediately took action to mitigate, to disinfect, to contact the Office of Emergency Management. I'm going to have Leo Maestas talk in a little bit regarding all the actions that the city has taken to assure that the public is safe. We were notified. We immediately started doing what we needed to do. We closed offices. We sent people home. On Monday, on Sunday evening, it was a decision that we were going to close City Hall. Mr. Maestas arranged for a mass testing for a lot of our employees to go get tested on Monday and Tuesday, just to make sure our employees were safe. And it seems that from the Monday tests that came in, we've already had another 6 cases?
8.
Another 8 cases that were positive, that were tested on Monday. So, you know, we're working diligently to make sure everyone is safe. We are doing as much as we can. We're disinfecting the offices. Mr. Maestas has been so kind to assist us with making sure that we're disinfecting properly, and we're using equipment that is supposed to be more aggressive and to make sure that we kill the virus as it goes along. So with that, I do want to say that we've closed some non-essential services at the city until all the test results come back. Those include the library and the recreation center for now. some of the operations or all the operations at City Hall have been moved to either people working remotely. The telephones are being answered by personnel who are in the building. Thanks to a lot of people, even Bill Hendrickson got promoted to a switchboard operator the other day, and he was answering calls from the community. Thank you so much for your help, and Bill's been answering calls, and Donna Castro has been helping answering phone calls. So please, what I'm asking the citizens right now is to be patient with us. Our goal is to get people, to make sure people are safe. Our next goal is, of course, to have a rollout program too, so we can open up City Hall just as soon as we can after we make sure everything is safe. So I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking with Mr. Maestas from the Office of Emergency Management. He works for both San Miguel County and the City of Las Vegas, and he's a shared employee. And he's going to talk a little bit about community spread and how fast it's spreading through here, and possibly look at causes for that spread. Mr. Maestas, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, good afternoon. My name is Leo Maestas, Emergency Management for San Miguel County and City of Las Vegas. We wanted to touch briefly on how we're seeing some spread, community spread, possibly in our city and our county. As the Mayor has spoke, we had close to 200 individuals tested on Monday from city employees along with city residents. We have had 8 positives come back from that testing on Monday. And we're tackling each individual test, mitigating the spread, helping with contact tracing, giving the public the option to self-isolate in a private area if they do not have somewhere to self-isolate at home properly, away from friends and family, vulnerable public. We also wanted to get the word out not get the word out, but continue stressing that masks are our first line of defense, continuing to wash our hands, not touching our faces. We're seeing a lot of lax in the community on the nights and weekends. We're seeing a lot of gatherings of individuals, and we cannot have that going on right now. We had been doing really well per capita here in San Miguel County. As of yesterday, we were at 67 cases. We'll see that number climb for today. But we want to continue stressing that this is not something that we can take lightly. We want to continue due diligence with the guidance that's coming out from CDC and the state as far as cleanliness and keeping our hands clean. We're going to be moving into the flu season. We're going to be having individuals staying inside with heaters going. We're going to continue seeing some spread going on. As things develop, we'll continue to mitigate those problems as they come up. I think that's all I have for now, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maestas, and he's absolutely right. I just want to focus a little bit on large gatherings. So anybody who is responsible for creating a large gathering could be facing some major charges. So if you are responsible for creating a large gathering in which people got sick, you will be held personally liable, and it's already happened in the state down south. So anyone organizing a big event needs to know that it's upon you and that you can be held legally responsible for anybody who gets sick from that gathering. So I've already directed our police chief, Adrian Crispin, and his staff that any large gathering will be disbanded immediately. I know that there was a bike rally, a fundraiser last Saturday. The city of Las Vegas had absolutely nothing to do with that. We did not permit it. We did not allow it to happen. The organizers communicated on Facebook and on other social media to get people to that rally. There were over 131 bikes, and lots of them had passengers, so that's how many people attended that event. So when I got to the Plaza Park, I immediately called the police chief and I called the state police. By the time they got here, the bikers had already left. Have nothing against bikers. I own a motorcycle myself, a Harley Davidson. I will not be participating in any runs or rallies whatsoever this year, and I'm asking the public to please consider that, as well. Where, we have to stay safe. No large gatherings, the Labor Day weekend's coming up, don't have that barbecue. Don't invite friends over. Do not invite your friends and family over. I'm sorry, this year, we had to cancel some family events that we usually have, and I'm very sad about that because I miss my family greatly, and I wish we could all be together. We cannot. We cannot be together. So think twice about calling a gathering together or having a summer barbecue or end of summer celebration, anything like that. Be careful of how big your groups are. Don't let anybody into your circle that you do not know or that you're not around all the time. So that's how easy this stuff spreads. So you might go home and from a party or a gathering and find out that so-and-so had was exposed there or whatever, and that's the way things go in the community. So it's out there. It's very much out there. The numbers are increasing as the days go by, and I'm just asking the citizens to please wear your masks, no mask gatherings, wash your hands, be courteous to others, and be very, very conscious about where you are and where you're going. I'd like to pass the microphone over to our city manager, Mr. Bill Taylor, who will talk a little bit about the city operations and our plans for mitigating and for creating a coming back to work type of plan. Mr. Taylor, thank you so much.
Okay, let me just temporarily take off this mask as well. I think that the most important thing for people to realize is that the city is following all of the best practices. We've been doing so from the last administration up till now. We are continuing with those practices, so we follow CDC guidelines. We have closed some facilities. We've reduced service in some. We'll probably reduce more service in others. We've asked people to work at home when possible, to work from home. We're asking people if they're in an office by themselves, that's fine. They can work in an office by themselves. When they leave the office, they're to put on masks, even if it's just to go to the restroom. These are new, not anything new. These are things that we've continuing to do. This round of testing that we just had, and we heard some sad results from, is again a continuation of past practices. This is actually the third round of testing that we've gone through. We will continue to do that. I've spoken with Mr. Maestas and the Chief of Police. We're looking at doing this on a regular basis, probably every 20 days or so. And this represents difficult times, certainly for everybody who's gotten sick, and it's a hard time for the rest of the workforce, which is on edge. And it's also difficult for citizenry who find that some of the services that they're used to receiving easily are become a lot more difficult, or possibly a little bit more difficult in terms of paying your utility bills are going to work out at the center. Some of those things have been restricted, and they're going to likely become more restricted. In all likelihood, we're going to completely close. The rec center is completely closed now. We had planned to maybe back open in the very near future. That's probably going to be set back for a little while. The library is going to be closed, and again, it will be closed for a period of time. We haven't decided how long that is until we get some good positive news that allows us to reopen these kind of things in a safe manner. We are available. We're available by phone. We're available by email. And as the mayor mentioned, a lot of our employees are taking that extra step to make sure that everybody can reach the people they need to meet. We ask that you do be a little bit a little bit patient sometimes, so we get a bunch of calls at once, and but we return all those calls. We're committed to returning calls and emails in a very timely way. In fact, it's our city policy that you get called back or you get a response to your email within 24 hours. And usually it's going to be much quicker than that. So we're trying to balance all those things of being a responsive city government with also being a place that's safe for our employees and safe for the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Adrian Crispin, our police chief, do you have anything that you'd like to add for the public?
Sure, just
We'll be hearing from Adrian Crispin, the police chief. Just take this off real quick. Here.
good afternoon. First thing I'd like to say is I want to thank our officers out there that are still supporting their law enforcement for the citizens of Las Vegas. Also, we are still operating on a 24-hour service. Our services haven't stopped. We are asking the public if you have non-emergent calls to use the 7504 number, but also my officers might be reaching out to you on cell phone just to limit that exposure to each other. Also on the 911 calls, we will be answering our 911 calls just as normal. Nothing has changed there. We're trying to limit our exposure at our department just to make sure that everybody stays safe there. Also, we are open from 8 to 5. And we want to also make sure that everybody's safe out there as the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crispin. Once again, I'd like to reiterate that nothing has changed at the police department. We still are functioning at 100% at the police department. We have people on patrol. No services at the police department have changed whatsoever. And our intention is not to have any changes at the police department and to keep our citizens safe during this time. Mr. Aaron, do you have anything that you would like to add, or a question or anything?
I don't think so at this time.
Okay. That was Mr. Scott Aaron, our city attorney. Thank you for being with us today. That about wraps everything up. Does anybody have any questions at all that you'd like to add? Again, thank you to Leo Maestas from the Emergency Management Office. Thank you for working so hard and around the clock. And, I'll bet when you took this job, you never knew that it was going to be 24/7 and something like this happened. So thank you for all your hard work. Bill Taylor, thank you for everything that you do for the city, keeping the city running on a day-to-day basis. And we're dealing with this one day at a time. No other administration has had to deal with a pandemic this size. And I'm asking the citizens to please be patient. We may not do everything right and everything perfect, but that is our goal, is to strive to do everything right. So bear with us, be patient with us, and we will continue to support the community any other way that we can. We will continue to stay on this COVID pandemic round the clock. We guarantee the citizens, if there's anything you need to know, we will let you know just as soon as we can. So thank you so much, and I wish everybody, I just wanted to let you know, some of the employees that are sick, I've personally called, and Bill has called, and Bill Hendrickson has called a few of the employees just to check on them. And just on my way over here, I called and I checked on one of them, and he said he's feeling good, and that his family is running errands for him. And I said, if you need me to pick up a hamburger for you or run an errand, just call me. Has my personal cell phone. I did with another employee on the way over here. I called her and I asked her if she needed anything to just call us, if she was hungry or if we needed to run an errand or whatever. I would be here. So we're checking on each other, we're supporting one another, and we're going to get through this. And I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, Virginia Marujo from Community Development, for coming in on your vacation. Just to have us on YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. Thanks to Ed DeChamps from IT, and Kenny Roybal, and Zach, I'm sorry. I've known Zach for all my life, I couldn't remember his name. And thanks for the Assistant Chief being here, and thanks for Eric Pacheco being here as well for the Police Department. We appreciate your support. Thank you for the former mayor, Matt Martinez, and Sangre de Cristo Broadcasting for dropping everything that they're doing just to have us online. I think it's important that the community know all this. Thank you for your willingness to help the city out, Matt. I appreciate you very much. And with that, I'll conclude the press conference. Thank you, and please be safe. Eric Padilla, sorry.